Welcome to the UIS Coaches Show. I'm Michael Leotta, and Happy New Year. We are thrilled to have head coach Olivia Lett joining us back. Coach, Happy New Year. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
The Stars, nobody's having a better 7-day span of 125 than the women's team. 2 wins in the last 5 days, Coach. We'll get and break down these games a little bit, but you and your team got to be just super excited and really, really happy about how you guys have played these last couple of ball games.
Yeah, after a rough 2024, it's nice to start 2025 off with a couple wins. I think we were getting close to a breakthrough, and so it's nice to really, break through that barrier and get a couple wins.
Yeah, team's rolling right now. A good home win and then a good road win as well in conference. Talk a little bit about it. Watching both of these games, we talked a little bit about a post game in the first game, but looking back a little bit on Sunday's game as well, a couple themes stood out to me in these first couple games that we had wins in 2025, and that was one, good starts in the first quarter. Right, that had been a struggle for you guys a lot, and then that St. Ambrose game, a 21-17 game in the second quarter, and then you guys go on a 19-4 run and really kind of pull that one away. And then at UIndy, another good first half that kind of kept you guys in the game and in a good spot. And then starting that second half, you go on an 11-0 run and you shut them down for over 6 minutes without a point. And we're able to hold them off from that. That's something we haven't seen out of your group, which was really impressive and kind of led to both wins. Kind of your thoughts a little bit on that as well.
Yeah, I think, defense was something that we've been talking about all season, and I think when we get rolling defensively, it makes our offense a lot easier, and I think we're starting to buy into that a little bit. You've seen us hold teams to a little bit lower point totals, but also shooting percentages, and we're not turning the ball over in those stretches that just turn into really easy layups for them.
Yeah.
We're getting our turnovers are ones of aggression where we still get a chance to play defense, and I think that's a big thing for us. Like, give us a chance to play defense. Sometimes we get a little stagnant on the offensive end, and so if we can make sure that we've at least got that chance to play defense, it can help us feel like we're still in rhythm. Even if we're not hitting shots, we're still in rhythm, and we've got kind of the flow of the game, and we're controlling that.
Yeah, I've talked about on the broadcast before that not all turnovers are created equal. Sometimes live ball turnovers are better, and it seems like in the last couple games, you guys have been on the better end of that, where you're getting the live ball turnovers and getting layups, and not giving that up as much, which is a big key for that.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think we're doing it in ways where we're not taking huge gambles and taking ourselves out of a competitive situation or competitive advantage. We're starting to trust each other a little bit more, trusting each other, getting to some of those denies, getting to some of the help on the weak side, all of those type of things. And obviously on the offensive end, our posts have had some big games, but I think they've done a really good job for us on the defensive end as well.
Yeah, a tough road trip in Michigan, obviously 2 tough games going up there. It's never easy going on the road there. But you talked a little bit about the buy-in. What was it after Christmas and going up to this week in practice? Was there something different with that? Because we did see, like you mentioned, a lot of players just more confident, more decisive, right? Like understanding their roles. We've just seen a little bit of a change with that. Did that kind of happen that week after practice? Tell us a little bit about that.
I know every coach worries about sending their kids home for Christmas break, and I think we were effective with our Christmas break. I think that we probably needed a little bit of time off too. We had Sahara Murphy running 39 minutes a game for us going into Christmas break, so I'm sure her legs needed a little bit of time off. Yeah. And we were struggling with injuries, so we were able to get people a little bit healthier and be able to take some of those minutes off of people. But I think that some of our kids really attacked their Christmas break. I thought Alicia McDaniel came back better from Christmas break than she did from Thanksgiving break, and so I think she really used that time to help herself get stronger, to help herself get in a little bit better shape, and I think you've seen that in these last 2 games.
Oh, 100%. I mentioned halfway through the broadcast, that's the best I've seen her play in her time here, especially last year as well. And it's not just so much of the play part, it's the decisiveness, right? Slipping off those screens like we talked about in that first game and just making the right reads and not thinking, right? It just seems like she was out playing and enjoying herself. I could see that with a lot of the other players too. Does winning help that, or is that just being more comfortable with the system, being more comfortable with the coaching staff, and just being more comfortable overall?
I think it's trusting it a little bit. It's trusting the system. It's trusting that you watch biddy ball and everybody's moving towards the basketball, right? And it's trusting that we've got to create space. We've got to give the ball to each other in positions where we can be successful. That's being a great teammate. It's not being selfish to hold on to the ball a little bit longer and give the ball to Nia and Alicia in spots where they can be successful. They're more successful when they catch it inside of 5 feet. I think that obviously both of them, when they face up from 15 feet, have been pretty good, especially in the last 2 games, but they're more effective right next to the basket. And so I think Kayla Rice really took that to heart, especially that game coming out of Christmas break. She easily could have had double-digit assists, I think.
Yeah, no
just being able to find people and find them in positions that they can be successful, and carrying that little bit of extra weight to put them in situations. Not everybody is meant to be a three-point shooter. Not everybody is meant to attack off of the dribble, and that's okay. And the more that we understand those roles, the more effective we're going to be as a team.
Yeah, you mentioned Kayla in that game. She had 10 points, but she affected the game so much in that. And usually we see her score 26 to, change a game. So it was really great to see that. I even felt like there was a couple plays where she was a little bit too unselfish,
right,
from that. But you could definitely see that that's getting across, and that she can make others around her better as well. And she's starting to get that going with it as well. So, 2025 continues on. We've got a big homestand coming up here, Truman State, and then, rival Quincy coming across town as well, or, across state here. Talk to us a little bit about these two matchups and how we can kind of turn this into a 3 or 4 game winning streak.
Yeah, it's all new to me. And so trying to figure out these teams, trying to figure out what everybody does. I think, with the GLVC on the women's side, every night is a little bit of a coin flip. You don't know exactly what's going to happen. I know Truman plays tonight, so leading up to our game as well, and I think that's something that we'll make sure that we watch that game, last minute things, just to make sure that we're prepared for that game on Thursday. But we're excited. We're excited to be at home. We're excited to kind of get rolling in GLVC again and figure out what that looks like. Getting the NAIA win and then one GLVC. Okay, let's see if we can stack a couple of those. I think everyone's going to be competitive. Every game is going to be one where we feel like we can compete in it, and it's okay. Who shows up more? Who is ready to execute? Who is doing the things that they need to do? We know that ball pressure is something that's big for us, and so doing that and then knowing our matchups after that, so that our defense can generate our offense.
Nice. And we'll just finish up here a little bit, just talking a little bit about, you've done well in these last 2 games. You're starting to see some of the things that you've wanted to put in. What's the next step, right? What in the next, let's say, 6 weeks do you want to start to see out of this team to take that next step in growth?
The game at UIndy, I don't think we win that game a month ago, right? We were up by double digits going into the 4th quarter and started to kind of freak out a little bit. And we still found a way to calm down, and I think really felt a little more composed than what we felt late game situations. And so I think just learning from some of those things that we even talked about in the last 3 or 4 minutes there, we made some IQ mistakes that if we can continue to clean those up, we're probably going to be in some more close games. And so continuing to clean those up give you a chance to win some of those close games. Yeah,
you've been talking about, you guys have been chasing so many games. Now you're in the other spot of closing out games, and that's a step that your team wants to take going forward. And hopefully we'll see that this weekend. Get yourself again in a couple positions here at home, get off to some good starts, and be able to close out a couple more wins. Coach, we really, really appreciate your time here. We're looking forward to seeing this team again this weekend. It's playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of energy. Should be 2 good matchups again. The Stars will be back in action on Thursday night, 5:30 here at track against Truman State, and on Saturday at 1 p.m. against Quincy. For Coach Olivia Lett, I'm Michael Leotta. This is the UIS Coaches Show.